In fact, as a YouTuber, it's almost tempting to have made a video just on this, but look at what this is ticking for. I'm seeing, hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for the Essentials edition on Wiccan. All the things you're going to want to know if you pull this guy or if you're considering going for him. We're going to cover quite a few things today, including why would you consider using your Kados on ranking him up? What is he adding to a roster? Then we'll look at his flow, basically how he gets played, and his damage rotations. How well do those come together? Is he recoil tree friendly? The SIG ability. Do you need him awakened and how does it scale? Then of course, things to know while fighting him, and he does have some tricky, I consider them to be very annoying things in his kit. The synergies that are important for him or could be used. And then my conclusion on where he's going to end up initially on my tier list and where I think he may end up in the future as this game progresses. Have some fun with those predictions. Let's jump in. All right, yes, he is armor break immune and he does energy attacks, but the big one that I know so many people are going to be excited about, he's immune to reverse controls. Then, not to be outdone, he's got this non-stacking neutralize, which is a little bit annoying when you're fighting against him, and then in buff heavy matchups, it's actually punishing the opponent too, but I will show that to you. All right, let's start off with just his general flow. This is a basic matchup here against the 6.1 Deadpool. Not a massive health pool, but enough for us to show off. Now, Wiccan's got a series of spells that he can do, including just holding block, but I like to hold on to that, and we'll talk about that later. You can end a 5-hit combo in a medium, landing that passive incinerate that you're seeing there. Land a 5-hit combo ending in a light, getting that neutralize that I've really been talking about. We'll show that more as we get going. That SP1 does have a 7% heal for damage that has been done, or missing health, I'm sorry. And then if you do, though, have a large burst of energy damage, it will actually heal back 100% of that. So you can see scenarios where that would be really helpful. We're now going to go in and throw the SP2, which will land a bunch of shocks. But those shocks, if there is incinerate up, turn into plasma, then you can see there's some shocks left over from the SP2, which we can again turn into plasma by landing our incinerate. We've landed the neutralize and the light ending to prevent the big heal, and then just kind of ending this off with the SP1. In general, there was nothing crazy that I had to do here. I felt the flow just made sense. There was not anything crazy I needed to set up, and I had liked that. I thought the damage was fine for a matchup where he's not supposed to totally shine. All right, let's look at where he is supposed to shine, and this is neutralized. Okay, we're going up against this Footloose Medusa here in Act 6. I'm just going to concentrate on putting the neutralize on. That's all I'm doing. So I'm sure we could increase the damage in other ways or just get the ramp going. But remember, neutralize decreases the buff ability accuracy by 100%. And then this is kind of a tricky part. You have to put this together a little bit. But here's part of his abilities. When the opponent's ability fails due to reduced ability accuracy, which is what neutralize is doing, they'll inflict an incinerate debuff, reducing block proficiency by 50%, cool, and dealing 2,335 energy damage. And then, as you just saw, when we get to that SP2, it lands all those shocks, turning them into plasma. The damage really starts to ramp up, and the opponent is not getting the buffs that they otherwise would. Recoil friendly, right? Bleeding and poison. I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it. Doesn't mean it couldn't possibly be found out, or if you're on the Nick Fury Deadpool synergy, but he's only got the heal off of the SP1. That's for missing damage. And then remember, it's 7%, and you're taking the 5% recoil either way. The signature ability. Does he absolutely need it? Is it pointless to rank him without it? No, I don't think so. However, I think it's a little bit more than a nice to have. If I got a Wiccan, I know I would definitely want him awakened. And I think Sig 1 is enough. You're going to see a big benefit as you go. There's 3 points to the signature ability. We're going to quickly talk about all of them. The resistance up allows Wiccan to block unblockable attacks from Cosmic Champions. I think we can all think of some of champions that go unblockable. Cosmics, of course. One that even came into the contest with him and Hulkling there, right? That's nice. You're going to want that. But here's the 2 bigger ones for me. If the opponent is shock immune, shocks turn into degeneration with the same potency and duration. I love this. I absolutely love when there's a, like, if they're immune, you then get this. And then they're even saying they have the same potency and duration. That is a big, big deal. We're going to take a look at a fight that shows that off. And then the incinerate effects have a 6.8 all the way up to a 50% chance to not consume shock. That's also really nice. Any of these chance to not consume, we have a lot of champions like that. Spider-Man 99 is one that I particularly enjoy, and I do think you see a large benefit from it, especially in the damage department, which I know we all like and want. All right, now this is an Act 7 Terrax. We're going to be looking at two important things here. One is Mystic Ward. This is one of the extra benefits to neutralize, is you can control buffs in a place where you can't nullify and do all of those things. The other one is, and this is the signature ability and why I have it placed here, Terrax is shock immune, meaning we're not going to be able to place those shocks. Now, with our neutralize up, and that's all we're looking at here, you can see how many incinerates we're getting going, right? We've made his buff ability accuracy to minus 100%. So every time he's trying to trigger that buff, we are getting those incinerates up, and you can just see how quickly they are stacking. But we're going to get to our SP2 here, right? And you're going to see, because he's shock immune, we're not going to be able to turn them into the plasmas, which is a big deal. You do want that ability. All right, now we're taking a look at the exact same fight, except this time we have our Sig 1. Remember, only Sig 1 Wiccan here. So it's the same thing. We are concentrated on our neutralize. We're getting those incinerates. The buff, the node itself, I think is helping us get those incinerates going, but that's not the point of what we're showing here. We want to show the signature ability. So we're moving into our SP2, and when we throw our SP2, instead of seeing immune, watch what happens here. We are now able to turn a lot of these incinerates. We've stacked so many of them because of the node, but we're now being able to turn them into 8 plasmas, those 8 plasmas having the properties of both there. And then because of the node and the incinerate and the neutralize here and all of those things, I just want you to see this is the sort of thing that can be possible. In fact, as a YouTuber, it's almost tempting to have made a video just on this, but look at what this is ticking for. I'm seeing 15,904. I mean, you could make so many kind of, like, call them cheese videos or things like that. I do think those capabilities are here with Wiccan. I'm not sure how often those are going to come up, but I did at least want to show you that is possible, while also showing you all these other uses where he's very, very good. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about how to fight him. And like I said, there's something that's really bothering me, and part of it's because I play Spider-Man 99 so much. I like the champion so much. But when you have a well-timed block against Wiccan, he's going to inflict a non-stacking neutralize debuff of 100% potency. Well, why is that a big deal? Apparently, the game reads the neutralize before they read the ability of the champion that they don't gain buff. So as you can see, every time I should be triggering a Dex, I'm getting an incinerate. The thing is, Spider-Man 99 doesn't get the buff from Dex at all. I don't think that should be happening, but that's how the game actually works. Now, when you're fighting him, if you want to be pairing him, of course, there are some science champions you could use that are Incinerate immune or get powered up from it, but you could also use a shrugging champion here. One of my favorites, of course, is Shang-Chi. So there are ways to go about doing this. Also, remember, his spells when he's a defender are going to alternate every 10 seconds. So you want to knock him down, because I think that resets the timer here. But you're going to see I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get that passive incinerate. Okay, synergy time. We're going to talk about the ones I think either catch your eye or actually will be useful. This one here with Loki. You know, getting a slow, that's a very powerful debuff. I can see why you want it. You know, if you want to bring it in, I think it's there. I do think it's not the easiest to access and to keep up. So there's that. I think just keep that in mind. Here with Teddy, my Prince Charming, getting up a miss passive, that's a big deal. Or a tracking debuff, I'm sorry. Being able to handle miss, I like that one a lot. And you're going to see he's got some other synergies here with Teddy. And then this last one, where you get, anytime you get extra power, you can throw your specials. That is very, very helpful. And then these last two here with Teddy, the increased combat power rate, I mean, that's always a good thing. He handles buffs so well, Wiccan does. I can see that, and you're not upset to be bringing along Wiccan. I think he's a quality champion, in case it's not clear already. And then this one only benefits Teddy, but I do want to reference it. Being able to go stun immune, even though it's in a limited scenario, it's something you like, you're going to want to have. I really think these two travel very, very well together. All right, then let's talk about like where I see him, my predictions on where he's going to end up in these tier lists. This is the Battlegrounds tier list here. Now, I think he's a dual threat champion. I really do, especially in a strong buff-heavy matchup. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to use him too much on attack. But he also causes you to either bring in a very specific attacker or not stun him at all. Both of those will at least take time or require a certain attacker to go at him. I think he's going to have his uses in Battlegrounds. And then our overall rankings. This is where I would think he's going to start off. Now, of course, I got to talk to the MCoC Illuminati, the rankings team, see if they agree. We also tend to start off conservatively because, we don't want people seeing this, going out and getting them, ranking them up, and then we find out, well, they're not as usable as we thought. But I feel very comfortable with him. The whole time I played him, I feel like this feels like an updated, today's game version of Symbiote Supreme. Someone who, if there's a lot of buffs, the damage is going to be borderline outrageously good, and if there's not, it's going to slow down considerably. The one difference for me is I don't think he slows down as much as SimSup does if there's no buffs. Also, I think you like him. Neutralize is a big deal, and we're kind of, I think, in the beginning stages of it, or there's just so few champions who can do it. He does have some other utility there with the armor break immunity, and then, of course, reverse controls. I know so many people, including myself, if I have a champion who has reverse control immunity and then can do other things on top of that, I'm a pretty happy person. They don't need to bring in synergies for it. I really do like him. I think he's a quality addition to the contest. And I think if you get him, you're happy about it. And he's almost going to have something that will bring value to any account. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, if you've pulled him, how you're using him. And then as the community gets to use these champions more and more, I'm sure we'll find very specific uses and places for him. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.